Under these covers sits a Chevy-powered Lola T330. It raced in the 1973-74 Tasman series at the peak of Formula 5000 competition and was recently restored by owner Jeff Walters. This is Australian racing legend Kevin Bartlett, who drove it. Thanks to TCM racer Aaron McGill, KB was reunited with his old car after 45 years apart. The race talk was there. KB, pretty special moment here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Tell us a bit about this car you're standing in front of.
The T330 Lola. New car in 1973, late 73. Did 5 races here in Australia, Sandown, Phillip Island, Surfers Paradise, a couple of other smaller races. In preparation for the Tasman series in New Zealand. We took it in New Zealand January 1974 at Levin Raceway. It ran quite well. We were quite happy with the car. My mechanics had set it up beautifully, and we'd had a lot of experience with Lolas. And I went to the next race at Pukekohe Park, and in qualifying put it into the fence. And I come out of that a little bit bent myself, and the car was bent quite badly. We actually had to dispose of the actual tub, but kept a lot of the bits and pieces. And lucky for me and lucky for everybody really that Jeff Walters has taken up the gamble with it and built it into exactly what it was. It looks exactly as it was when we built it as it come out of England. Yeah.
And is this the first time you've seen this car since New Zealand?
Absolutely, yeah. It's astounding. I've seen a couple of photographs with the body on, the body off and that sort of thing, but there's nothing like the real thing, is there?
There's not?
No.
What was, as a package, what was this particular car like to drive?
Fantastic car to drive. All the Formula 5000s were great cars to drive. I drove a variety of 5000s. There was a monocoque, Mildren monocoque Chevrolet in 71. Late 1970, 71, and then my McLaren M10B in 72, my Lola T300 in 72-3, and the T300, or 330 rather. Once we'd crashed that though, there was a model evolution called the T332, so I replaced the 330 with a 332. And then on to the Lola T400 and the Brabham BT43. So I was a pretty dedicated Formula 5000 racer, let me tell you.
It was a great period in the sport, wasn't it? Amazing names and amazing cars and great racing too.
It really was, and I'm really pleased to see that the continuance is going to happen with this S5000. They're a real car. Engine-wise, they'll be a lot more reliable than what we used to have, because it was early days of any of that Formula 5000 stuff. It was pretty experimental for us here in Australia. We had to use a lot of American bits and pieces, and we didn't really know half the time whether we were buying quality or also ran stuff. And with this S5000 formula, those guys have got a really good package.
It's an exciting time, isn't it? Because Australia's lacked a big banger open wheel category for a long time. It's the sound of big V8 powered wings and slicks cars is pretty exciting to see.
We didn't run with mufflers though, they sounded a lot better. But even with the mufflers on, there's still a brute thing. You can hear the power coming out even with the mufflers on. But as I say, straight through exhaust, half of us are deaf because of it.
Just go back to the crash just for a minute. How badly were you beaten up out of that impact?
I had substantially just all the left side. It was the feet, knee, tib, fib, new pelvis broken and blah, blah, blah. But basically that's all it was. I was never lost consciousness, so I got out of the car and stepped out of the car and then realised I didn't have a left leg working too well and fell over. But apart from that, 4 or 5 months of rehabilitation, and when I got back into the car that they built for me, the T330, went to Oran Park and got very close to the lap record there within about 5 laps. So I'd overcome that little problem, you know, what could have been a thought problem never happened to me. And I had a visit in hospital in March, April from John Goss. Would you partner me with, as I had the year before in his Falcon? And we went to Bathurst, and of course the rest is history. Yeah. We won that.
Amazing time.
Yeah.
What's it like to see this car again finally?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I just can't wait to see it actually on the track. As soon as he's finished it off.
You have a drive?
No, I don't think I will. I'd be very tempted though. Getting in's all right. Getting out might be the problem. But I'm not far off the old racing weight. I'm within 1.5 kilos or 2 kilos of the old racing weight. So maybe I could. Maybe. Who knows?
KB, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure.